Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome. I am Warpath Extreme, and I'm here to bring you part 2 of my WWF Coliseum home video VHS collection. If you haven't seen part 1, click on the description below, and you'll see it. Where part 1 I focused on the clamshell / big box releases. Now I'm going to show you the slipcover releases. Now keep in mind, the ones that I own, some of which I have are not in original cases, but are in blockbuster sleeves. Some others have artwork that was cut and trimmed into a plastic rental case. Well, there are at least 2. And all the others are in original slipcovers as well. Yes, there will be some more that I will be doing. There are some more Coliseum videos that are 1-hour releases, of course. 1-hour compilations, of course, which I will show you in part 3. As a matter of fact, they have different types of catalog numbers as well. So, well, right now, enough talk. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Alrighty then. I have a total of 35 slipcover releases from Coliseum Video, and the first one, keep in mind, they're in order by I'm going to show them to you in order by catalog number. And the first WWF VHS I'm going to show it to you in catalog number is WF110. The 1992 WWF Survivor Series. Even though this is not in an original slipcover, but it is in a blockbuster rental slipcover as well. Actually, not rental, but it's part of the previewed video collection slipcover. So anyway, it's showing the ink label, and of course no print date. That's the tape itself, right over there. It was from the Richfield Coliseum in Richfield, Ohio, where the first 2 Survivor Series events, 89, 87, and 88, excuse me, took place. Next one is WF111. The 1993 WWF.Royal Rumble. Featuring every top WWF superstar. This has Bret the Hitman Hart and the bad guy, Razor Ramon, on the cover. That is the front. The spine. Other spine. The top. And the back. Yes, the bad guy, Razor Ramon, challenges the Hitman, Bret Hart, for the WWF title, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty for the Intercontinental title, and the Royal Rumble match itself, among others. Ink label, vertical ink label, no print date. Next up is catalog number WF113. WrestleMania IX, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada, April 4th, 1993. Double main event, Yokozuna and Bret the Hitman Hart for the World Wrestling Federation title. And Brutus Beefcake and Hulk Hogan, the Mega Maniacs, challenging Money Inc. for the tag team titles. There's Brutus Beefcake, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Hulk Hogan, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Yokozuna on the cover. An event of epic proportions. Front, the spine, other spine, top, and the back. This also has Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, HBK, the Native American superstar Tatanka, the Steiner Brothers, and Samoan Fatu, the Head Shrinkers. Vertical ink label, no print date. Keep in mind, this was one of the worst WrestleManias to date. But not as bad as WrestleMania 11, which was 2 years later. Even though I don't have a Coliseum video release of WrestleMania 11, but I would like to have that in my collection, as well as King of the Ring 1995. Even if I have to avoid that pay-per-view, I can. Next one is WF114.Smack EM, featuring Bret Hart on the cover. It also features Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels in a ladder match for the Intercontinental title, as well as Bret the Hitman Hart in an untelevised event, winning the World Wrestling Federation title from the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Also has, there's the sides. It also had cooking with Yokozuna and all kinds of good stuff. There's the back. Yes, cooking for the single man with Yokozuna. That was my favorite part of this VHS. I've seen that dozens of times. It's my favorite, one of my all-time favorite Coliseum videos. Here is what this VHS looks like with the sticker label, no ink label I should say, vertical ink label, and no print date. Next up is WF116, bashed in the USA, featuring Mr. Perfect whacking Razor Ramon, the bad guy with a steel chair. Also a superstar profile on Shawn Michaels. Of course, Smack 'em Whack 'em had a superstar profile on the Hitman, Bret Hart, including the winning of the World Wrestling Federation title. There's the spine, other spine, the top, the back. And this one also is hosted by Mr. Perfect, who gives you an exclusive look on how he collects postage stamps, trying to find the perfect postage stamp. Vertical sticker label, no print date. Oh, and by the way, this would be the second and last Coliseum video to give an exclusive match involving a 40-man battle royale. Because normally a 40-man battle royal would be too much for one man. You would not have enough room. Next up is WF117. That's the catalog number. It's the Invasion of the Bodyslammers, featuring Tatanka hip-tossing either Bo or Blake Beverly, the Beverly Brothers. Also, Kamala tries to do some bowling. Front. Spine. The other spine. The top. And the back. Yeah, this one, unfortunately, has got to be my least favorite Coliseum video because some of the matches, with the exception of the 6-man tag team. No 6-man tag team, but also they had a 16-man battle royale that was originally from Monday Night Raw, but it had alternate commentary by Jim Ross, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and the Macho Man Randy Savage, who did commentary on all the matches. Vertical ink label, no print date. And don't keep in mind, this one also had Repo Cam with the Repo Man, Barry Darso. And the next VHS is WF122. SummerSlam 1993. The Palace of Auburn Hills was the site. In Auburn Hills, Michigan, suburban Detroit. August 30th, 1993 was the date. Featuring Lex Luger and Yokozuna on the cover. Front, spine. And yes, this one is cut and trimmed into a rental case, by the way. Anyway, here's the back. I have no comment on this one, except the Yokozuna Lex Luger match was A-okay. It just was not as good as before, as SummerSlam 92 and 91. Weird pay-per-view. Anyway, here's the vertical ink label and a little label here that said SummerSlam 93. Doesn't have a print date anyway. Like many Coliseum video releases normally don't have. Oh. Excuse me. So, boy, do I have a very long way to go on that one. As the next VHS is WF125, and that is SummerSlam, no, not SummerSlam, Survivor Series 1993, featuring The Undertaker, the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott, and the man made in the USA, Lex Luger, trying to carve up a turkey. Of course, All Americans versus the Four Fanatics, that was the main event. Front, spine, other spine, the toppy, and the back. Also featuring the Family Feud match between the Hart family, featuring Bret Hart and his late brother Owen, Bruce, and Keith, against Shawn Michaels and his 3 Mystery Knights. Of course, Shawn Michaels was substituting for Jerry the King Lawler, who had some serious legal issues. Also, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson against Tom Pritchard and Jimmy Del Rey, the Heavenly Bodies, for the Smoky Mountain Tag Team titles as well. Vertical ink label, no print date. The next one is WF126. That's the catalog number, and that is Undertaker. Well, the official title is The Undertaker's Gravest Matches. Although the ink label just says Undertaker, but makes no difference. And yeah, it does not come with the original artwork, but it's in a Blockbuster slipcover, and I don't have to pull the tape out because it's already showing the ink label itself, but no print date. You'll see The Undertaker against guys like Ric Flair, Kamala, Giant Gonzalez, Yokozuna, among others. Oh yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow as well. Most of The Undertaker's matches were untelevised. The next tape I got is catalog number WF130, and that is WWF Monday Night Raw Prime Cuts, featuring Rick the Model Martel giving Razor Ramon the Boston Crab. It's uncut, uncensored, and outrageous. Another one of my all-time favorite Coliseum video VHSs. And of course, there's another compilation one as well. That is the front. the spine, the other spine, top, and the back. Keep in mind, this one has has bunch of great matches and moments from Monday Night Raw, from the first year of Monday Night Raw. It went as early as May 17th, 1993 to October 18th, 1993 with the Savage Crush Summit. Vertical ink label, no print date. Next one is WF132, and that is WrestleMania X, March 20th, 1994, Madison Square Garden. Yes, I've owned this for quite a long time. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. Also featuring 2 WWF Championship matches. Lex Luger versus Yokozuna for the championship, and Bret Hart meeting the winner of that matchup as well. And also Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon in the dreaded ladder match as well. Another great classic. One of the best WrestleManias to date. Here's the vertical ink label and no print date. Our next VHS is WF133. It's Inside the World Wrestling Federation. Featuring Tatanka trying to give the end of the trail to Bam Bam Bigelow. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. Every match in this cassette shot exclusively for Coliseum home video. Oh, and a man by the name of Johnny Polo, also known as Raven, in ECW and WCW and all around the world. He was going to give you he's going to give you a tour of the World Wrestling Federation corporate headquarters. Here's the vertical ink label with 2 WWF logos there. Oh my gosh. One miniature and one big. Oh my god, that's so funny. Maybe not to you, it ain't. And of course, there's no print date. Still very neat. The next VHS is WF136. 136 is the catalog number, and that is WrestleFest 1994. Featuring Razor Ramon trying to give Shawn Michaels a arm drag takedown front. The WrestleFest wrap. Spine. Other spine. The top. And the back. And I hate to break the news to you, but yes, with the exception of every match top to bottom, with the exception, of course, of the Macho Man Randy Savage Rick the Model Martel matchup, the other matches were shot exclusively for Coliseum home video, never been televised, but there was one match that actually was televised, and that was the Macho Man Randy Savage Rick Martel matchup from WWF Superstars from January of 1994, I do believe. It's just that it has alternate commentary by Gorilla Monsoon and Sweet Stan Lane, one half of the original Midnight Express. With beautiful Bobby Eaton, of course, with Jim Cornette. And now here's the sticker, the ink label, vertical ink label, and there is no print date. Next VHS is WF137. That is the 1994 edition of Bloopers, Bleeps, and Bodyslams. This is the second version, but this time it has wrestling matches. You'll see Doink the Clown on the cover trying to give some sort of a wrestling hold on Bam Bam Bigelow. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. Yes, this one does have some decent matches. Believe it or not, like WrestleFest '94, this one also had a televised match. Actually, this one actually has two, as a matter of fact. Only those at they just have alternate commentary instead of original commentary. Like Bam Bam Bigelow and Doink the Clown from Wrestling Challenge, early 1994. And Bret the Hitman Hart and the big man from Kona, the Kona Crush, from the March to WrestleMania special. That of which had alternate commentary by Gorilla Monsoon and I believe Johnny Polo. I can't remember. You'll die laughing. You also get bloopers and all that stuff. And Hillbilly Jim, by the way, was the host of the programming as well. All kinds of bloopers and laughter and some wrestling matches. Unlike the original Bloopers, Bleeps, and Bodyslams, it had wrestling. At least it had wrestling. Vertical ink label, no print date. This is becoming a long video. Could be the longest running video ever on my channel, man. Breaking the Waffle House Brawl compilation 2018 by at least about a minute or so. Who knows? It could make history. Next one is WF139, and that is the 1994 King of the Ring. This is the only King of the Ring pay-per-view I have from Coliseum Video on my collection. Vertical ink label and no print date. It has champion versus champion, Bret Hart versus Diesel. Bret Hart, World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. And Diesel Intercontinental Champion. Only Bret's title was on the line. Piper, Roddy Piper versus Jerry the King Lawler. And also the traditional King of the Ring with Razor Ramon, Irwin R. Shyster, Tatanka, Owen Hart, etc. Yeah, this one does not have original artwork, but it does have that blockbuster slipcover. The next one is WF140. That is Bret the Hitman Hart. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. Yes, you will see some highlights of Bret Hart's career, as well as some matches, most of which are for Coliseum home video and never been televised. Plain and simple. Especially if involving WrestleMania X, SummerSlam 91, etc. And the King of the Ring 1993. Here's the vertical ink label with the Bret the Hitman Hart trademark superstar logo there. That's pretty cool. And no print date. Man, I just want this to be over with. My mom's gonna be mad. Seriously. Next one is WF142 SummerSlam 1994, featuring Bret Hart, Owen Hart, and 2 Undertakers on the cover. Bret Hart and Owen Hart in a steel cage for the World Wrestling Federation title, and 2 Undertakers colliding. Who is the real Undertaker? Front, spine, other spine, top, and back. Keep in mind, this one also has Razor Ramon and Diesel for the Intercontinental Championship. Vertical sticker label, no print date. Next one is WF143. That is yet another WWF Coliseum video release involving a single WWF superstar. That is Razor Ramon, oozing machismo. He is the bad guy. Front, the spine, the back. Yes, it's also cut into a rental case. You'll see Razor in some matches and in some non-televised matches, including against Bam Bam Bigelow, Crush, and Yokozuna. You also see him in some couple of televised matches on TV and on pay-per-view against IRS, Jeff Jarrett, and the model Rick Martel, and also against Razor against Shawn Michaels in the ladder match from WrestleMania X. Who knows? And oh yeah, against Adam Bomb as well. Vertical ink label, no print date. Oh, keep in mind, some of these Coliseum video exclusive programmings I'm showing you right now is also available on the WWE Network as well. So if you want to see those, check it out. All you need is a subscription, and you're good to go. Next one is catalog number WF145. Survivor Series 1994. From Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas, the home of Shawn Michaels. Also featuring a rematch with The Undertaker and Yokozuna in a casket match, and Bret Hart and Mr. Bob Backlund in a submission match for the World Wrestling Federation title. And also some traditional Survivor Series matches. There's spine, top, and back. Do keep in mind, though, once you are in a Survivor Series elimination tag match, once you are eliminated in any way, shape, or form by pinfall, submission, countout, or disqualification, you must go back to the locker room. You cannot stay in the ring or stay on the outside. You must go. You're out of here. It could end up like being 4 against 2, 4-3, 4-on-1, or 5-on-1, or 5-on-2. You could be in big trouble. You got to put out all the stops at that point. Vertical ink label, no print date. Whew. Whew, man, this video is going to be longer than what I expected. It's going to be a record. Next one is WF146. Paul Bearer's WWF Hits from the Crypt. Hosted by the man himself, Paul Bearer. God bless his soul. Front, with Lex Luger and giving Jeff Jarrett the torture rack. The spine. The other spine. Oh, it's upside down. There we go. The top and the back. Yes. Some of the matches were televised from Monday Night Raw, including the Head Shrinkers Quebecers match for the Tag Team Championship, but most of them are Coliseum exclusives. Vertical ink label, no print date, and also you get some strategy tips on one of my favorite video games, wrestling games, WWF Raw, released by LJN. It's LJN Acclaim. Next one is catalog number WF148. The 1995, WWF Royal Rumble, featuring Diesel and the Hitman Bret Hart. These two met for the World Championship. Of course, it is from the Sun Dome at Tampa, Florida. And yes, Pamela Anderson was a special guest hostess for the Royal Rumble match itself. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. You also get to see Jeff Jarrett's winning of the Intercontinental Championship at the hands against Razor Ramon. Vertical ink label and no print date. Next up is WF149, and that is Wham Bam Bodyslam. Yes, featuring Bull Nakano with some kind of a pretzel hold maneuver on Alundra Blaze, aka Medusa. Front, spine, the other spine. Yeah, this tape is badly torn, but the tape plays fine, at least. There's the top and the back. Yes, it also has codes and strategies for NBA Jam Tournament Edition, True Lies, and Warlock. It has all the matches that have never been televised. Vertical ink label. Nope, and of course there's some sort of a rental thing there, but there is no print date. Yes, I do love that Coliseum home video. It's awesome. Really awesome. Really, really awesome. Despite every match being not being televised, of course. Next up is WF154, and that is SummerSlam 1995. Feel the Heat, featuring Diesel and King Mabel on the cover. Front with the Stridex logo. The old Stridex logo. There's a spine. Other spine. The top and the back. You also see Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels in a rematch from WrestleMania X in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Gold. Here's the vertical ink label, no print date. Oh, it has the Hollywood video label. But there is no print date from what I do understand. Next tape is WF157, and that is WWF Winter Combat 1996, featuring Razor Ramon, Bret the Hitman Hart, the bizarre one, Goldust, and the British Bulldog. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. This VHS has a compilation of highlights from events such as In Your House 4, Great White North, and In Your House 5, Seasons Beatings, including the rematch long-awaited rematch with Bret the Hitman Hart and the British Bulldog for the WWF title, who also earlier challenged Diesel for the championship at Great White North. Also had the Hog Pen match with Triple H and Henry O. Godwin as well. Ink label, no print date. Next up is WF158, the 1996 Royal Rumble with Bret Hart and The Undertaker on the cover. Front, spine, the other spine, the top, and the back. Yes, it also has the Royal Rumble match itself. When you are eliminated over the top rope and both feet hit the floor, you must return to the locker room. You cannot get back in. It's every man for himself. Here's what this VHS looks like with the vertical ink label. No print date. Next up is WF160, and that is Spring Explosion 1996. This VHS, that's the program that consists of the complete event of WWF In Your House, Rate 6, Rage in the Cage. Has Bret Hart and Diesel in the cage on the cover, front, the spine, other spine, the top, and the back. This also has a bonus matchup with The Undertaker and Goldust for the Intercontinental Championship. After the show went off the air, this match took place. That match took place. Also, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and Owen Hart 1-on-1 for a chance at a WrestleMania 12 title shot. And also Razor Ramon and the 1-2-3 Kid in a crybaby match. And also Bret Hart and Diesel, as I said earlier, in a cage match for the World Wrestling Federation title as well. Vertical ink label, no print date. Next one is WF162. That's the catalog number. And that is WWF WrestleFest 96. Beware of Dog. Yeah, that was this VHS consists of WWF In Your House, Beware of Dog, originally from Florence, South Carolina. But there was a big, huge thunderstorm that really took off most of the programming, so the WWF made a second version of it, this time with three other matches, including the casket match with Undertaker and Goldust for the Intercontinental Championship, Yokozuna and Vader, and also a Caribbean strap match with Savio Vega and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. Vertical sticker label, no print date. Ink label, I mean. Darn, how silly of me. And the next VHS is WF163, SummerSlam 1996, featuring Shawn Michaels and Vader on the cover. Front, the spine, the other spine, the top, and the back. And also, yes, Shawn Michaels and Vader would collide for the World Wrestling Federation title. And also, Undertaker and Mankind in a Boiler Room Brawl. That was, of course, this pay-per-view was when Paul Bearer turned his back on The Undertaker, betrayed him, and sided with Mankind, who was a heel at that time. Vertical ink label and no print date. Next one is WF164. That is WWF Tour de Force 1996. Which this one consists of the complete event of WWF In Your House International Incident, featuring the six-man tag match with Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Ahmed Johnson, and Psycho Sid against Vader, the British Bulldog, and Owen Hart. That is the front, the spine, the other spine, the top, and the back. Even though on the back it says bonus video game top codes and strategies for video games from Acclaim, it showed right there, but on the closing, it didn't have any of it. It just went to the address and then the warning screen and the end of the tape. That's it. Yeah, sad but true, but no biggie, no big deal. Vertical ink label and no print date. Tour de Force. Next tape is WF165. The 1996 Survivor Series from Madison Square Garden, featuring Shawn Michaels, Psycho Sid, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the cover. Front, the spine, other spine, the top, and the back. It also has some Survivor Series traditional matches. It also has 3 regular matches, including Undertaker and Mankind, with Paul Bearer hung up in a cage high above the ring. Also, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret the Hitman Hart in an exciting grudge match. And Psycho Sid's winning of the World Wrestling Federation title, ending the boyhood dream of Shawn Michaels. Unfortunately, this tape is not in the best condition. It is completely damaged in a couple of parts. Also, my King of the Ring VHS, 94 VHS, is damaged mostly at the top, at the beginning. But at least, hopefully, this one will still play. I may even splice this one. But anyway, here's the sticker label and the end label, and no print date. No big deal. I might splice it, but if it doesn't work, I'll get another copy. Sometime in the future. I don't know when, but I do plan on doing it this year. Alright, 5 more VHSs, 5 more releases to go. I'm in, and I'm done for part 2. And the next VHS is WF166. And that is Slamathon 1996. This one consists of the complete pay-per-view of WWF In Your House Buried Alive, featuring The Undertaker and Mankind on the cover. These two met in the very first Buried Alive matchup. Front, spine, other spine, the top, and the back. Yes. It was located in the Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana, which is not too far from the Hoosier Dome, by the way. Vertical sticker label, ink label, I mean, no print date. Next VHS is the first let's take a look at the catalog number. WF167. The 1997 Royal Rumble, featuring the rematch with Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid, who was on the cover. No more Mr. Nice Guy, indeed. From the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Front. The spine. Other spine. The top. And the back. Vertical ink label. No print date. Alright, the next VHS is WF172. And that is WrestleFest 1997, which consists of the complete event of WWF In Your House, Revenge of the Taker, Undertaker and Mankind for the World Wrestling Federation title. Front. The spine. The other spine. The top. And the back. And yes, also Bret the Hitman Hart, and in his first match as a heel of course, only in the United States, of course, against Stone Cold Steve Austin. As you will recall, Bret the Hitman Hart turned heel in the U.S., only in the U.S., the day after WrestleMania, officially, WrestleMania 13. Vertical sticker label, ink label I mean, and the label that says WrestleFest 97 writing on it. Alright, 2 more to go and I'm done. Next one is WF173, and that is SummerSlam 1997 Heart and Soul, featuring Bret Hart and The Undertaker on the cover. These two met for the World Wrestling Federation title. Bret Hart would win his 5th championship by defeating The Undertaker with some sort of a screwjob controversy from Shawn Michaels, who was the guest referee, that led to the feud between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Front. The spine. Other spine. The top. And the back. Also has Bret. Also has It also has a steel cage match with Triple H and Mankind, and many more. Also, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship as well. Here is what this tape looks like with the vertical sticker ink label and some writing on it. No print date, of course. It is from the Continental Airlines Arena in Indianapolis. No. Excuse me. East Rutherford, New Jersey. And last, but definitely not least, prepare. Here's the drum roll. 175. The 1997 WWF Survivor Series. Gang Rules. And featuring Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels in their long-awaited rematch from the Molson Center in Montreal, Quebec. It is one of the rarest Coliseum videos I've ever owned. By the way, that is the front. There's the spine. The other spine. The top. And the back. Yes, this pay-per-view was the reason why the Attitude Era was born. And this pay-per-view, in fact, does remind me of the infamous Montreal Screwjob. Yes, Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels for the World Wrestling Federation title. And the end, really, in the end of that match, really tells the whole story. Yes, the Montreal Screwjob. That was how the Survivor Series ended. It was the night of the Montreal Screwjob. It also had Stone Cold Steve Austin and Owen Hart for the Intercontinental title, and Mankind versus the pay-per-view debut of Kane, one-on-one. The Big Red Monster. Yes, Survivor Series 97, the night of the Montreal Screwjob. Something we fans will never, ever forget. And here is what this tape looks like with the vertical ink label, no print date. All right, finally we are done. But before we go, let me remind you. No, wait, actually we're not exactly done, but we're done with part 2. But coming up is part 3, where I show you the rest of the Coliseum videos that are 1-hour stuff. But before I go, let me remind you to like or dislike the video, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on notifications, and leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to check out my Warpath Fusion channel, also on YouTube. Follow me on Daily Motion with WrestleNick as well. And also, don't forget to check out my fan mail address down below as well. And send me some fan mail. Let me know what you think. Alright, folks, that concludes this video. So I'll see you in part 3 of my WWF Coliseum home video VHS collection. So until next time, keep the war going. Ooh, I'm out of breath.